If you're a manager, a team lead, or a CEO, and your go-to phrase is "this is how we've always done it," then you need to listen closely, because the ground is shifting beneath your feet. The old rulebook for attracting and retaining talent, it's being rewritten right now by a new generation. You might be noticing more empty desks, more declined offers, and a revolving door of bright young employees who leave just as you finished onboarding them. You're not just losing people, you're losing potential, innovation, and your competitive edge. The question isn't you're losing talent, and the answer is more complex and more urgent than you might think. It's time to look past the headlines and the stereotypes. This isn't just a trend, it's a fundamental transformation of the very concept of work, and understanding it is the key to your organization's survival. Let's start by dismantling a pervasive and damaging myth that young people are rejecting traditional jobs simply because they're lazy or entitled. This narrative is easy, it's convenient, but it's fundamentally wrong. The data tells a very different story. The reality is that younger generations are not work-averse, they are structure-averse. They are rejecting the rigid, outdated frameworks that no longer serve them. A 2023 Gallup poll found that for Gen Z and younger millennials, work-life balance and well-being are non-negotiable factors when considering a job. In fact, surveys consistently show that roughly half of the younger workforce prefers flexible work options. They are actively seeking out freelance gigs, building portfolio careers, or taking the plunge into their own entrepreneurial paths. This isn't about avoiding hard work, it's about reclaiming control. They've seen their parents and grandparents sacrifice their health, their family time, and their passions for the promise of a gold watch and a pension, and they're asking a simple question: is there a better way? For them, flexibility isn't a perk, it's a currency. It buys time, it buys autonomy, and it buys a life that isn't just lived on weekends. It's a strategic choice, not a lazy one. Another common myth is that this generation doesn't want stability, that they prefer to hop from job to job without a care for the future. This couldn't be further from the truth. The truth is, they crave stability, but they've redefined what it looks like. It's no longer about a 40-year career at a single company. Today, stability means having a predictable income, without sacrificing your mental and physical health. It means having a career that can weather economic storms and adapt to technological change. They want stability without the burnout. This is why comprehensive mental health benefits are no longer a nice-to-have. They are a core expectation. According to a Deloitte survey, nearly 40% of Gen Zs have rejected a job or assignment because it would have a negative impact on their well-being. They understand that true stability is impossible when you're constantly on the verge of burnout. This desire for a new kind of stability has given rise to a spectrum of flexible work models. It's not just about working from home on Fridays anymore. We have fully remote companies, where there is no central office. We have hybrid models, where employees split their time between home and a collaborative hub. And beyond that, we see the rise of the portfolio career, where individuals don't have one job, but several, combining freelance projects, part-time roles, and personal ventures. This diversification of income and skills is, for many, a more resilient form of career stability than relying on a single employer. We cannot ignore the powerful economic forces driving this shift. The traditional 9-to-5 job, with its fixed salary and location, is becoming an increasingly difficult proposition for young people. The cost of living has skyrocketed in major urban centers where most of these jobs are located. Housing, transportation, and student loan debt consume a massive portion of their income. A single stagnant salary often isn't enough to get by, let alone save for the future. The flexibility to live in a lower-cost area or to take on a side hustle isn't a luxury, it's a financial necessity. Furthermore, the promise of long-term security that once came with a traditional job has eroded. Pensions are a relic of the past for most private sector employees. The social contract that said, "work hard for us for 40 years and we'll take care of you in retirement," has been broken. Younger generations know they are responsible for their own financial future, and they are building careers that give them the control to do so. Then, there's the relentless march of technology. Automation and artificial intelligence are not just changing how we work, they're changing what work. Repetitive entry-level tasks are increasingly being automated. The traditional career ladder, where you start at the bottom and slowly climb rung by rung, is disappearing. In its place, a new model is emerging: the career lattice. Success is no longer just about moving up, it's about moving sideways, acquiring new skills, and adapting to new roles. Young workers understand this intuitively. They prioritize jobs that offer opportunities for continuous learning, upskilling, and exposure to different parts of the business. They know that their most valuable asset is not their loyalty to a company, but their own adaptability. But perhaps the most profound driver of this change is a shift in values. Beyond salary and security, younger generations are asking a fundamental question of their employers. What do you stand for? A paycheck is no longer enough. They want purpose. They want to work for organizations whose values align with their own. They want to feel that their work, no matter how small, contributes to something meaningful. A Cone Communications study found that over 75% of millennials would take a pay cut to work for a socially responsible company. They are actively seeking employers who are committed to sustainability, diversity and inclusion, and positive community impact. The traditional symbols of success, the corner office, the fancy title, the executive parking space, hold little appeal if the work itself feels empty. They would rather have a smaller role in a company that's changing the world than a bigger role in one that's just padding the bottom line. Purpose sells, and companies that lack a clear, authentic mission will find it increasingly difficult to attract top talent. So, what can employers do? The answer isn't to fight this change, but to embrace it. The employers who will win the war for talent are the ones who build a new employee value proposition, centered on 3 core pillars. First, radical flexibility. This means trusting your employees to get their work done, regardless of where or when they do it. It means focusing on outcomes, not on hours clocked. It means offering a menu of options from hybrid models to fully remote roles, and empowering employees to choose what works best for them. Second, clear and transparent growth paths. Ditch the ambiguous corporate ladder. Instead, provide a lattice of opportunities. Invest heavily in training, mentorship, and skill development. Show your employees exactly how they can grow with the company, both vertically and horizontally. Make it clear that you are investing in their future, not just renting their time. And third, real, meaningful benefits. This goes beyond a basic health plan. It means providing robust mental health support, generous parental leave, wellness stipends, and dedicated time for professional development. These aren't just perks, they are signals that you see your employees as whole human beings, not just cogs in a machine. Companies are already proving this model works. Look at a company like Salesforce, which has championed a work-from-anywhere approach and ties executive compensation to ESG goals. Or Patagonia, which famously offers on-site childcare and encourages employees to take time off for environmental activism. These companies aren't just doing good, they are attracting the best and brightest because their policies reflect the values of the modern workforce. In the end, this isn't a story about the rejection of work. It's a story about the evolution of work. It's a call for a more human-centered, flexible, and purpose-driven approach to business. The younger generation isn't asking for less, they're asking for better. The choice for every leader and every organization is simple. You can cling to the past and watch your talent walk out the door, or you can embrace the future of work and build an organization that thrives in it. The time to adapt is now. Embrace this evolution, or you will be left behind.